Hey, you're watching or listening to Speaker Talks, and this is Steve Sapato, your host, where we talk with speakers, authors, entrepreneurs, other podcasters, and we want to help you grow your business. Today, I got the great pleasure of talking with Jane M. Powers. You can see here that she's a very attractive young lady, and she will help us learn how to sell with authority today. Are you ready for that? Hi, Jane.
How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm excellent.
Right
And
away,
Jane,
saying I'm attractive. You're winning brownie points already.
well, you're in Phoenix.
Yeah. Yeah. And I haven't burst into flames yet so far.
Wow. So
Yeah.
are you over your heat wave?
No, we did have a wonderful cold spell yesterday. It was only 105. Seriously, we are at 118. That's like living on the sun. That's living on the sun.
That's crazy. Yeah, 118. We hit 95, 97. I'm like, that's it. I'm going in now.
Yeah, but here's the difference, Steve. I know, don't everybody, your listeners will be like, we know, it's a dry heat. Okay, I'm originally from Chicago.
Oh.
That is not a dry heat. 90 degrees, 90% humidity. I'll take 105, 110 over that any day. Any day. And you guys get humidity down in your neck of the woods too.
The other morning, it was 4:30, 5 o'clock. That's what time I get up. And I looked and I said, oh, hey, the outside temperature is pretty good today. It was like 82 with a 98% humidity.
Just rain.
Like, so you you walk outside and go, oh, drip, drip, drip. Yeah.
My hair goes 10 times its size.
Well, I always say, though, how much time do most of us really spend outside? Now, I love kayaking. So like yesterday was it today? Today's Tuesday. So it must've been Sunday. Sunday, we were out kayaking and had a great time, spent 3 hours out on the water. But it's a lot different sitting on the water and being able to splash yourself than standing in your yard. But most of us walk out to our car, we get into our car, we drive to work, we get out of our car, we go into work. And, so, I mean, even when it's raining, even when it's cold, you spend 7 minutes outside.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in the Midwest too. I grew up in Moline, Illinois. So.
Oh, all right. A little south. A little way south for me, right?
Well, actually west. We're west. We are west. Between you and Des Moines. We were right on the Mississippi River going west.
That's right. Des Moines. Yep. You're on the other side of the world. Yeah, I went to DeKalb. I went to NIU, Northern Illinois University.
Yeah.
People laugh. I'm like 5'4", maybe if I'm standing on something, 5'4.5".
Play volleyball?
I played basketball for volleyball. Do I look like a volleyball player? I was a basketball player, point guard. You know why?
Oh, really?
Bossy and love to control things. So it worked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, now I would have thought in today's world, 5'4", I would think you'd be a real hit because the girls who are 6'9" and 7 foot can't bend over that far. They can't take the ball from you.
No, I dribble right through. I might be a little slower, but truth be told, I learned everything on the planet about business by playing basketball with men. Because
real men,
real live men. I played a few. Chet Lemon, don't know, he was a White Sox player, very good basketball player. I played with some of the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh, nice.
And they're good. Like you think, oh, they're just fun. No, these ball players are really good. But I learned about business because you guys are a weird breed. You're an interesting breed. I played ice hockey as well. Now, my Canadian friends laugh at me because I say ice hockey, but we have roller hockey here, Canadian listeners.
Field hockey, too.
See, they think hockey is just the ownership. But I would play basketball with women, and I played pretty intense, and they'd get everybody mad and hurt and offended. And I'm like, it's the game, even in hockey. So when I play with men, I could say whatever I want. I have punched, pushed, I've done more fouling than, and I tell you, and afterwards they would say, hey, aren't you going out to lunch with us? And I'm thinking, wow, they're not even mad at me. Women would hate me for life. So I learned how to be rejected in sales and not be offended. Okay, I still cry sometimes, but I'm telling you, I learned everything from playing basketball with men because it is the game. It is upfront, direct, and you don't mess around. And that is how I do business now. But I'm telling you, that's how I am on the basketball court as well. But yeah, I'm telling you.
long as you went there, tell us a little bit about what you do.
What I do, I am a speaking and sales coach. People think I'm primarily a speaking coach, but truly I'm not. Everything I do is directed towards moving people into action. So entrepreneurs hire me, business owners and nonprofits hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority. And Steve, you'll appreciate this because most, I hate to say it, are boring, confusing, and inconsistent, and they're leaving opportunities empty-handed. I know, took me a while to be able to say that, but people would come up to me and go, gosh, I'm so boring. And then the other one say, I'm confusing. And I'm like, excellent, let's work on that. So essentially, I work with individuals in a level of how do you articulate your message so that it moves them into action, an authentic sales conversation where you're not making them buyers. Because trust me, I've been a sales trainer over 30 years, professional speaker 30 years, and I can make people move, but it wasn't always in their best interest. So authentic sales, I actually created Core Communication, which is core sales. I basically ripped off, can I say that? Yeah. I ripped off every single personality profile, crammed it into the science of Jane, and came up with 4 types of individuals that you communicate with. And I make it an easy no-brainer because salespeople, entrepreneurs, a lot of them like the shiny objects.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to sit around learning a whole strategic scientific program. So I made it.
What are those 4 types?
4 types. Are you ready? The core system, CORE. I'm pretty sure that's how you spell it, but CORE. C is a catalyst. That catalyst is essentially, if you put me on a poster and put catalyst above it, it would be me. We are all about action, results, competition, moving, getting things done. Don't give me a whole lot of reading because I'm not going to read anything but a few bullet points. Pretty much the way I operate in my business is I am fire ready. Aiming might take too long. So we move on from it. It's a matter of moving at a level of right action with the right results. And the catalyst makes decisions based on their gut feeling. So the difference in and I'll describe what they are. The O is the optimizer. Optimizers, systems, formulas, color coding, strategies, logistics. There is not a project plan they did not fall in love with. So they are traditional. They are not heart-centered and they're not solely head-centered. They're logic-centered. If it fits in my budget, if it makes sense, and I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 10. Now a catalyst goes 1, 2, 10. We don't want to take that long. It takes too long. But an optimizer clearly will take every step and is loyal almost to a fault. The relators, the R, the relators. I love our relators. They're huggers. They are doing work in the world.
No, just so you don't mean realtors.
Not realtors. Yeah, no, I'm a broker. I'm a real estate broker for the last 15 years. Not us. But the relators are very heart-centered. There is not a cause they will not put their heart and soul into. High tide raises all boats. They love support. They love coming together, community, and they are more of our mission and purpose driven. Then we have the E, the experts. Experts are what I affectionately call our know-it-alls. And I say that because they do know a lot, but they also believe they know it all. They'll reinvent the wheel. They are our doctorates, our master's degree, 482,000 certifications. So the way we break the code down, the first step is know your code. If so want to know my code? I'm pretty divergent, but my highest code obviously is Catalyst. The next one is Optimizer. That is probably the most schizophrenic combination you can have because you want to do all the steps and be thorough, but the catalyst is too impatient. So I have learned, and I blame it on my parents. Why? Everything's our parents' faults. I mean, if you have any problem, just blame it on your parents and move on.
Well, on your parents or Donald Trump.
You have the courage to bring that up. But what happens is I have learned to move fast while designing strategies. Like anything, I could do anything on the fly and spit out a graph or a project plan. And people are like, well, when did you do that? And I'm like, well, I was buzzing along at like 832,000 miles an hour and I jotted it down. So the reason we teach that core system is I know my code. And when I'm sitting across from someone virtually or live, oh, how I miss the live connections.
Yeah.
It's so depressing. I think our pharmaceutical companies are going to cash in on depression meds. Like
crazy. You know they are. You know
they are. But
the doctors are probably already prescribing them no matter what. They said, let me see you on Zoom. Oh yeah, you're depressed. Here's the medicine. Go pick them up.
It's called bored. It's called bored. But what I teach is to fully understand, if I know my code, I can't go in and run in and sell an optimizer by saying, who cares what the points are? It's a system. Just follow me. They know I want to know all the details. So as a catalyst, I need to speak from my optimizer position. Relators, using words like, oh, you're going to get results yesterday. We're going to hurry through this. We're going to do this. We're going to get. If I use those words to a relator, it's not going to connect. But if I help them understand, I'm going to support you. We're going to link arms. I'm coming over for the holidays.
You're going to feel so good.
The feeling of it all. It is the most logical, simple system that allows people, you can identify people almost immediately. I love doing it from stage and even from Zoom calls. Like we teach how to do it by checking out the background. Even if they have a virtual background, you can check it out. But look, my background tricks everybody. They're like, oh, but I am a high relator. I am. I can't help it. I got a big heart and I have my little stuff over here, all my X's and O's. But truly, what I do is teach people how to know who you are and the default system that you're operating from. And I've done a ton of corporate gigs. My favorite, training car sales dealerships. So going in and teaching them how to do it differently.
You know, that's, I've got a friend, just drew a blank on her. Anyway, her certified. She's out of, I think she's out of Phoenix. She might be, anyway, Nevada. Do you know her?
Nevada? No,
Kathy Droz. Kathy Droz, D-R-O-Z?
Nope.
But she does, like she works with the Lexus dealerships out there. She does all of that kind of stuff. And it's all about, she teaches them how to sell to women.
Yeah.
And so and that's, that is a real, I sold cars for a while and absolutely hated it. One of the worst jobs I ever had in my life. And I always feel sorry for the guys who are trying to do it, but they love doing it, and if they love doing it, boy, more power to them. But so many of them struggle because, like you said, they don't learn those kinds of things. And that's tough. If you're trying to be a speaker, if you're trying to be a salesperson and you haven't learned the basic techniques for relating to people, they do a good job at most of the car dealerships of teaching you how to quote unquote sell.
Right.
But if you want to become really successful and move those 30 cars a month, 40 cars a month, you have to relate to the people. And then you have to have, as the optimizer, you have to have the system that keeps these people involved, because I keep a car 6 to 24 months and then I need a new car. Right. And then when you need that other car, it's where do I go? It's like we moved in here. We were down in Tampa and we moved in here 2.5 years ago. And it was really interesting because when I moved in, I was part of a networking organization here before COVID, of course, and we all met. But when I talking to my realtor as we were driving around, I said, what networking group do you belong to? She said, none, but I would love to belong to a networking group. I went, oh, cool. I'll give you a holler. We ended up buying our house. She gave us a housewarming gift. Never heard from her again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You're like, how do you put together a business where you never follow through or follow up, right? And so that's always, whether you're selling refrigerators, whether you're selling cars, whether you're selling houses, whether you're selling widgets.
Yeah.
I haven't had a massage in forever.
Mhm.
And now that we're starting to come out of this COVID down here, somebody on one of the things said something about what they do. I said, what do you do? And she said, I'm a massage therapist struggling with my business closed up in the thing because I couldn't afford the rent, but now I do it out of my home. I said, oh, I would love to get a massage in the next week or 2 weeks. I said, why don't we connect? She said, that would be great. Never heard from her again.
Crickets. It's, here in Arizona, I moved from Chicago. Yes, everything was yesterday or the day before. And then you go further east and it's like 3 days ago. Like there's just, I think it goes faster. When I moved down to Arizona, I'd call 5, let's just pretend 5. I usually call 3 people. If one showed up, I would be lucky. So I thought, why I should start a business, any business, and actually follow up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? You would be a zillionaire I'm pretty good at follow up, but everyone sucks at follow up. It doesn't matter, because I would go to an event, I'd speak, and I'd have probably $1 million sitting in the follow up, and I'd go to the next event. And then I'd have another stack, and then I go to the next event, and I would have a team calling, and but follow up is the key. Unless you can land them immediately in your message. So, which brings me to, what a beautiful segue, the intromercial. I think that's what you and I talked about early on.
It was
the sexy, patented, trademark stamp of approval intromercial, which is, the best way I can describe it is your elevator pitch on steroids.
Now,
And
let's qualify.
Yeah.
If you're doing an elevator pitch, 99% of you really suck at it, and I don't care what you think. But go ahead, Jane. I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, I did not say that. And see, my relator would not allow me to say that. But truth be told, the majority of individuals are using an elevator pitch, which is, I don't know, 1920?
1930, yeah, old.
So outdated. So I created, and what I did was, I told you, I've been doing sales, speaking over 30 years, not back to back simultaneously, because I am not 150. So what I did was, I thought, what's going to capture the attention? Most people, like your percentage you're talking about, are saying, I help. Right off the bat, that says you're a volunteer. Yeah, I help. Oh, that's nice of you. Nobody's listening. But if you say entrepreneurs, corporate executives, organizations, I don't care who it is, hire me, right there, that will completely change the trajectory of your introduction. Because what that says is, you know what? I've got a viable business. People are hiring me. People are putting money and investing in themselves through my business. So entrepreneurs, small business owners, authors, speakers, does not matter, aspiring speakers, hire me too. This is the hardest part. The hardest part, Steve, is people to articulate their holy grail. It is the hardest part, because people are like, well, they hire me to go through a step-by-step system where I'm going to help them create a plan. We don't care about the plan. We care about what is in it for me. What's the ultimate result? Now, mine used to be entrepreneurs, small business owners, whomever. And it depends upon the group I'm in front of, because I work with just about every organization. So I would say entrepreneurs hire me to unleash the world-class speaker in them. Ooh, pretty sexy. Then I got to the bottom part, which I'll tell you what that is. Got to the bottom part and I said, so I help. That's where you get to say, I help. I help you speak with confidence and sell with authority. AKA, that happens to be my book. Just a side note, seating right there. But somebody said to me at a meeting one time, oh, do you do sales training? And I'm thinking, oh, crap, that's really all I do. I happen to do it through messaging. So I took Speak with Confidence, popped it up into the Holy Grail. So the Holy Grail is the ultimate outcome that you offer your clients. So entrepreneurs, small business owners, organizations, executives, whomever, hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority. Now, the most important word coming up besides hire me is the word because. And it is proven, scientifically proven that when we say the word because, your mind says, why? And you know where we learned that, right? You said to your parents, like, I want to do this. And they said, no.
Why?
Yeah. And you say, why? And they say, because. And then they say, why? And you say, because. And it continues and continues and continues.
Because I said so before I squeaked like a bug.
So. And trust me, you people are all doing that to your children. You have become your parents, the worst curse that we ever wanted. I will never become my mother. Why? Because I said so. So we put the word because in there. Then you're going to input 3 pain points. Not big, long, lengthy sentences. And I've got a website. People can go and download this whole thing.
When do I use the because line?
Okay, so entrepreneurs hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority, Holy Grail, because, goes right after your Holy Grail, because pain, boring, confusing, and inconsistent, leaving a ton of money on the table, leaving opportunities empty-handed, are not articulating their message clearly enough to sell, whatever it is, 3 pain points. Then the word so is so important, because what happens when I say so, your mind says what? That's just, it's all this is scientifically running through your brain. So I help. That's where we get to say I help. You sound like a very nice person. It's a wonderful thing to say. So I help connect, capture, and close your ideal audience. 3 benefits go right after. So I help, benefit. Then we throw in the bottom line. Bottom line, every time you open your mouth, you make money. Bottom line came about. I was on a stage, 650 odd people. They might have been odd.
Well, they were watching you, so.
Yeah, they're odd. And they like to hit the mic because I say, that's my, I think every speaker must have a parlor trick. They must have a parlor trick, something they can demonstrate. Ooh, here's my magic trick. Something they can demonstrate to show that they can do what they do. So I tell people, give me people at the mic. You throw words at me and I will create an intromercial for you. And this woman kept saying, oh, and these are my pet peeves. Never say, take it to the next level, up level your life or business, live the life or business of your dreams. We do not know what that means, and people aren't dreaming these days. So don't say that, because it doesn't help people understand the problem you solve. So this woman is at the mic and she's like, I'll up level my life. And I'm like, first, I hate that. Let's keep going. I play this game called So What, Then What? So if they say, I'm going to up level my life. Okay, so what, then what? Well, then I'll be happy. Okay, so what, then what? Well, then I'll be. So we keep playing the so what, then what game. And she was getting so mad at me because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm bored. I'm very direct. I have learned if I'm really nice and I beat around the bush, people will suffer too long. So what I do is I make sure I cut to the chase, and I'm like, here's the deal. This is with a big hug, but that is so boring. So she was going on and on, and I said, I just have to ask you. I said, are you getting angry at me? She said, I am so pissed off. And I said, excellent. This is where we're going to see some true change. Yeah. And I said, so far I'm bored. I'm confused. You've been inconsistent. I said, and you're pissed off at me. Just tell me what you do. And boy, it came out, and I went, there you go. So the bottom line is essentially, you're talking to numbnuts. They're not understanding you, and you're almost you're dumbing it down to the most bare basic. And that's where the bottom line, every time you open your mouth, you make money. People go, well, I need that. Well, didn't you listen to the former stuff? Because it said the same doggone thing.
Nope, yep. I wasn't listening.
Yep.
I was on autopilot.
I'm thinking of what I'm going to say to you. But truth be told, that entire script, I've done a lot of brain science, kinesiology, educational kinesiology. I've done a lot of work on the brain and the mind, and that formula actually has enough pattern interrupts, as I call them, and everybody else does. I didn't make that up. To engage the listener again, because after you say who hires you, once you say hires me, that's a powerful word. Then it moves into the Holy Grail, which I like to use more of the action words, commanding words: command, master, ignite, launch, catapult.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you here because you said a couple things.
Yes.
One of them was you said, and I've got that in my website. I've got that in my. So where do they go?
Let's see. This one, I just put it together again this morning because I thought, you know what, I want to give the whole formula away to your listeners. Normally, people got to come through and go through a few hoops. Forget it. It's COVID. People need to be online capturing attention because more people are going down with the ship. So go to yourspeakersuccesskit.com. Yourspeakersuccesskit.com. What that is where to go, what to say, how to get booked. More importantly, it gives you the entire script, the whole formula laid out for you. And then there is a webinar.
Wait, that's a script for an intromercial.
Intromercial, yep.
Right, sure, because that's your signature. That's your brand.
Big TM on it. I should say intromercial TM or R because it's registered. Like when I came up with this years ago, I'm like, oh, this is so good. I don't know where it came from. I swear to you. And we put a stamp of approval on it, got it trademarked. And I highly recommend, if you have something that is so epically good, get that thing trademarked. People like good things and they like to share good things.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so they go there to get that information on your script. And then you were going to say something else when I interrupted you again.
There's a webinar. You have an opportunity to join a webinar that I will walk through describing the formula. And then I have that one has other folks on there that are saying, hey, here's a few words. Can you make an infomercial? So it demonstrates how I do that. What I highly recommend, people aren't going to, unless you're using like mine, Speak with Confidence, Sell with Authority. It's a book title. Don't hack it exactly. But R&D it, rip off and duplicate what you can so that there's words that I give people, use them. Now, here's a good hint. The best hint I can give you, if you have a tagline. If you have a tagline or something you find yourself saying.
Steve Sapato, the most famous, unfamous speaker in America.
Exactly. So inspiring speakers hire me to be the most uninspiring, inspiring speakers on the planet. That's what you're known for. Now, does it apply to them? Absolutely, because what they see is that you have your claim to fame is that. And people will you can say that as your holy grail. And Steve, what you do, just write one up, send it to me, and I'll polish it up and get you a really good one.
Cool. Well, when's your webinar? Is that on that same page where your Speaker Success Kit?
Yep. All they have to do, they go in, they download it, and then they will get an invitation to the webinar as well. Cool. So we'll automate everything. They're going to get everything they need. And we also have an event coming up. We're doing a modified live event virtually now because nobody wants to come to Arizona. Nobody wants to go many places. But what we're doing is we're doing October 15th through the 17th. You'll see, just go, if you go to my website, Jane M. Powers, you'll see all our events coming up.
JaneMPowers.com. Jane M as in Mary Powers.com. So for the people who can't see you visually, because this also goes on just a podcast, it's Jane, Jane, the letter M, Powers, POWERS.com. .com. Now, I haven't heard that commercial in forever, but that's like so many other things that when you hear it, you're like, oh, I know that. I moved down here to Florida. We look out our back window, and honest to God, I don't know how old you are, but there was a Hamm's beer commercial back in the 60s, I'll say. And Might have been the 70s, but it was the 60s. But I look out my window and it was like Hams, the land of sky blue water. And,
Yeah.
I got this lake in my backyard, and every time the sun glistens off of that, I hear the Hams beer commercial in my head. So when you get something that sticks, boy, .com is one of those, where you're just like, oh man, how do you, and so when you find the right infomercial, it sticks with people.
I'll tell you, I will go to events or hit the stage or anything. And all I have to do is start, depending upon the audience, again, utilize this depending upon the audience. But let's say I'm in front of entrepreneurs. I will start and go, entrepreneurs, hire me. I don't even have to finish it. The room is finishing it for me. Why? I say it everywhere, every time. Back in the day, I used to go to networking events and people would be like, no, I'm not following her, because they know I'm the infomercial queen. I did a training in women's wisdom in California, and a ton of people bought the program, my Speak to Profit program, got their infomercials, and the entire meeting, everyone has an infomercial. So new people come in and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm out. But people will take you, I'm telling you, take you seriously when you are using an infomercial.
And here's, especially today. Now, I'm going to back up because we got about 3.5 minutes. But when we were doing networking, where you went and met with those 15 to 35 people at a table or a restaurant or wherever you went, those people would always say stupid stuff like, I represent Allstate, and Allstate's been in business since 1904, and we do that. Nobody gives a rat's. Nobody cares about any of that crap. All they want to know is what you can do for them, and it's going to be vital, especially if you're doing all these wonderful summits. Are you on these webinars where there's like 16 to 120 people?
Yeah.
Your only introduction has to be absolutely impactful. So if you're not going to yourspeakersuccesskit.com, even before we finish this, even before you finish the podcast, you've made a mistake. Go there, bookmark it, come back and finish the podcast, because this is vital that you get successful by being recognizable. One of the things I do with speaker talks, and one of the things I do with Steve Spotto seminars, matter of fact, my newest thing is I'm certifying virtual presenters now.
Yes.
Because virtual presentations are the future. They're going to be 50% of all marketing from now on. And if you are ahead of the crowd, I carry a certification on being a great virtual presenter. That's impactful. People are going to go, whoa, you know your stuff. That's what you're after. And that's what she is out to teach you. So Jane, last few words, give you a minute to finish up, young lady.
Last few words. Bottom line is people don't care about your story either. Nobody wants to hear why you got doing what you're doing. They do not care. What they want to know is what's in it for me. In the infomercial, you kick off with, here's what's in it for you. Here's why. So you position them as with the pain points. So position me, I'm awesome. Position them, that is your because statement. So I help positions your call to action. Always have a call to action. Never waste anybody's time with a virtual coffee unless you are moving them to a yes or a no. That is a rule of thumb. Now, I'm not saying go out and sell the heck out of everyone. Make the right connections with the right messaging, and that makes the right sale for the right clients. But truth be told, people spend a lot of time trying to figure out what to say. I, as a catalyst, have shortcut that process. The infomercial, the goal is 17.5 seconds. 17.5 seconds. That's
how I get a whole minute.
That's the beauty of it. Do you not get it? See ya. Oh, I'll fill it in with, so I'm a mother of 5.
I get a minute. Shouldn't I take the whole minute?
Yeah. Make it good. What I do, infomercial, 17.5 seconds. The rest of it is I teach. Position me, position them, position your offer. How do you do that? See me in the back of the room. I've created 3 multi-million-dollar businesses with this exact formula. I'm not bragging, and I'm not lying.
And she gave me one, and I drove it to $100,000 just like that.
Overnight. You're amazing. I knew that.
All right, Jane, this was absolutely a blast. And I hope everybody listening loves it and just absolutely flocks to yourspeakersuccesskit.com and downloads and then contacts and connects with Jane. If you haven't connected with Jane before, you certainly know you should do it now. And you can tell she's a bunch of fun. She's absolutely phenomenal in her knowledge and her gifts, and she can help you. And with that, I will sign off from Speaker Talks, the podcast. I'm Steve Sapato. You can reach me at steve@stevesapato.com. You can certainly go to write me an email at steve@stevesapato.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. And write to me and tell me how much she helped you after you contacted her. I'm Steve Sapato. God bless.